Hey man, welcome back for another video. You already know what it is. It's your boy J man back with another video. What's good with y'all today, man? Woo, it's draft week. Draft week. Yes, sir. You already know what it is, what it ain't, man. Yes, sir. So without further ado, man, we're about to go ahead and slide into this video, man. Today is gonna be my first round mock draft. Okay, draft is in a couple of days here. So, you know, I've been doing my due diligence a little bit, you know what I'm saying, behind the scenes with it. Yes, sir. So without further ado, man, go ahead, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, man, because y'all be bugging and playing with that little kizzy. But, you know, all good there, you know what I'm saying? And if you're worrying about the hair, you know what I'm saying, I got the hair down today. Yes, sir, skis, go ahead and slide to this thing. Hey! So, these first 4 picks, I feel like, are pretty much locks. Unless someone has a trade going on or something like that, which I don't. But, you know, the top 4 picks are pretty much locks. With, you know, at number 1, you know, Chicago is going to take, you know, Caleb Williams, obviously, right? You know, at number 2, you know, Washington is going to take Jaden McDaniels, obviously, right? At number 3, you know, the Patriots are going to take Drake May, obviously, right? Okay, so now that we got those top 3 out the way, I mean, that's clear cut, duh. And then at number 4, obviously the best available outside of quarterbacks, Marvin Harrison Jr., right? To Arizona. Makes sense there. So you got the top 4 picks locked up. And to me, 5 through 32 is where it starts to get a little interesting and stuff starts to get fun. At number 5, we got a team who, you know, is in need of this, right? And that is Rome going to the Los Angeles Chargers, okay? Now, I believe that, you know, it is time for them to go ahead and get a receiver, you know, with this whole new coaching staff, with Keenan Allen gone and with Mike gone. This is just a need for this team, okay? Now, at number 6, you know, I'm trying to fly through these things. Okay, at number 6, I have the New York Giants taking J.J. McCarthy. Okay, now I get it, you know, still got Danny Dimes, right? And I understand that J.J. wasn't asked to, you know, throw the ball 40 times, 50 times or whatever, right? I get that. But, you know, and what he was, you know, asked to do, he did it. You know, everything that he was asked to do last year, he did. And that's why they were able to win a national championship. At number 7, I got the Tennessee Titans taking Joe Alt, okay? Now, I believe that, you know, they needed a Taylor replacement, you know. They needed a tackle replacement, you know, last season as well. And in this, you know, tackle heavy, you know, draft where you can really take some swings at first round tackle talent, you know, in this draft. I believe to go ahead and get the best one off the board, you know, and a team who is in need of it, right? Okay, so now for number 8, okay, the Atlanta Falcons, okay? Now the Falcons, you know, just got Kurt, you know what I'm saying? They got a stacked offense, you know, defense is looking okay over here, right? So they need to beef up that defense, right? And get Dallas Turner, okay? I have him going at number 8 here, all right? Now, you know, he's a, you know, speed rusher. You know, he has a little bit of length on him, of course. But, you know, he might not be rushing the quarterback, you know, pass rushing, like, right away. You know, like, he might not be a pure pass rusher right away, right? You know, they might want him to develop and, you know, get into his NFL body before he has to do that for them. But he has the capability, definitely, to be a day 1 starter, in my opinion. And number 9, originally, is the Chicago Bears. But I have a trade into where the Chicago Bears are going to trade back into the first round, okay? And the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to trade up for the number 9 pick, okay? And in a trade that consists of, you know, the Steelers getting pick number 9, right? That's it. And Chicago getting pick number 20, falling back, you know, trading spots with the Steelers, right? Then they get the Steelers' second round pick at number 51. And then they get a second round pick for next year, okay? To move up 11 spots in this draft, all right? Now, with these 11 spots that they move up, they're going to grab my guy, Malik Neighbors, okay? Now, they're going to get Neighbors in, you know, in a receiver room that could use him, you know, with Pickens out there, you know, by himself now that DJ is gone, right, in Carolina. So, you know, they could definitely use this, and it will help, you know, year one Russell Wilson, or, you know, year one Justin Fields, or year two Justin Fields, you know, in this system. You know, who knows, right? But regardless, the quarterback having a plus first round talent at receiver is a dub. Okay, now for the 10th pick, all right, is the New York Jets selecting Brock Bowers. Okay, I know a lot of people have him way higher than this, and I get that, right. But to me, this was, you know, this is the highest I could place him that had a good fit, right? You know, with, you know, I originally was going to have New York taking a tackle here, but, you know, with them just signing 2 tackles, right? You know, there's no need for that. So I think they go and they grab this tight end, okay? With, you know, a nice receiver room out there, an amazing backfield, you know, with, you got A-Rod back there and Breece Hall, right? So, you know, they can come and add, you know, a day one starter in Bowers to go ahead and make plays for them. And a lot of people are comparing him to a Kittle type mode. Now, I don't know if he's going to be a Kittle type mode year 1, 2, but definitely he will be a plus, you know, in this already stacked offense. So, man, at number 11 here, right, I have the Minnesota Vikings taking, you know, what some consider the best, you know, right tackle in this draft, and J.C. Latham, okay? Now, a lot of people have, you know, them taking, you know, a Bo Nix here, or having them, you know, having McCarthy fall to them, right? And I can definitely see a world where they go and get their guy. But to me, in my opinion, if they don't go and grab one of the top 3 guys, then chill for next year, in my opinion, right? Unless you want to take a swing on somebody in the second, which, man, I would say, you know, don't do that there, right? And, you know, just beef up this O-line for whenever you do get your franchise guy back there, right? Okay. And, yeah. So at number 12, I have the Denver Broncos taking Q Mitchell, okay? Now, y'all can say his first name, sure. But Q Mitchell, right? Okay. You know, widely considered as the best corner in this draft. You know, he's a speedster out of this world, right? And it just would be a dope, you know, I don't want to say number 2, but, you know, a dope corner to have, a dope shutdown corner to have on the opposite side of Patrick Surtain, right? And I just think that this will be a great fit and mesh for you guys. At number 13 here, I have the Raiders selecting TF. Okay, I know you're like, who is that? Well, you say his name. I don't want to butcher the man's name, and the next pick as well. I don't want to butcher his name, so no disrespect there, right? But, you know, nonetheless, TF, you know, makes sense here, right? You know, Vegas has a tackle need, right? And it just makes sense. Like I said, this is a loaded first round type of tackle talent, you know, in this draft. So I feel like everyone who has a need, go and grab them. And this just makes sense, right? Okay. Now, for the next pick here, pretty much, you know, the same thing, right? But, you know, more of an insurance pick, okay? So I have NOLA. I have the New Orleans Saints, right? Taking OF here. Once again, don't want to mispronounce Buddy's name, but there it is, right? But, you know, this is more so of insurance for Penning. You know, he hasn't really played the best in the world, right? But, you know, you don't want to give up on him either. So, you know, it's like, there, you know, who knows, right? But, you know, all I can say here is that this would be a great pickup for them, you know, for insurance there, because he's looking like, you know, so not really looking too good, right? So, in my opinion, I would go ahead and go with, you know, this young guy coming out of the draft, a first-round talent that, you know, could really, in my opinion, do something in this league. I have the Indianapolis Colts, right, taking Terrell Arnold, right? Well, I'm sorry, I just butchered his first name like a mug. Okay, Arnold, the corner, to me he's the best corner left on the board here, right? And this is their biggest need, their biggest hole, you would say, on this team with a decent offense looking out there and their defense. You might as well go ahead and grab a corner, right? In my opinion, okay. Now, Seattle, okay, we're trying to fly through this thing, all right? So it's not a 20-hour video like everybody else, okay? So, I have Seattle taking a guard, my boy Troy F. Like I said, I don't want to mispronounce the buddy name, but, I have them taking him. This is their biggest hole on this team, help protect Geno back there, and just, better, what's the word? Just, better protect, him and be able to be a plus in the run game whenever they had a hole at guard, right? I have a receiver coming off of the board here, right? And the Jacksonville Jaguars selecting Brian Thomas Jr., okay? Makes sense here. In my opinion, with Calvin Ridley's departure, right? You really need something, for this receiver room, right? And this will be a great guy to, a first round talent to add, a speed throughout here. Can really be your number one guy if, necessary. And like I said, again, it's really just a team need here, right? My opinion, okay? So, with the next pick, okay, I have the Cincinnati Bengals taking Byron Murphy here, okay? Now, only if they're keeping T. Higgins do I like this pick. Now, if they aren't keeping T, then I like them to trade up for one of the, few receivers that I've already named, right? In my opinion. But, nonetheless here, this is them keeping T. Higgins. And if they do that, Byron would be a animal of a pick. They already have, to me, a decent D-line here, and just to add another first-round talent to that would be electric. All right, man, so at number 19 here, now I have not necessarily a homer pick, right? But, I have this guy staying in LA, right? He went to UCLA, and I'm talking double L's here, okay? I have the Los Angeles Rams selecting double L's out of UCLA, the outside backer, right? Latu, I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce his last name, right? He is the best edge rusher in the class to me, right? To me. On the edge, he's the best edge rusher. Just it is what it is. Argue with your mama, right? And I just feel like in a team who just lost Aaron Donald, right? You know what I'm saying? They need somebody to put pressure on this quarterback after losing someone like that. To me, right? Okay. So at number 20, flying through this thing, maybe, I don't know. But, at number 20, I have Xavier Worthy going to Chicago, the pick that Chicago fell back to, okay? So Chicago walked out of here with the top guy and Caleb Williams, and then, Xavier Worthy, a Swiss Army knife, who just literally broke the record for, 40-yard dash time with a 4.21, right? You know what I'm saying? And, he can, return it for y'all, right? He can obviously play slot receiver for y'all, right? With the other two dogs out there. I mean, there's just a multitude of things where he could play for you guys because, man, is he hard to take down in space. And you can see that in the film at Texas if you would like to. So, man, I have Miami selecting a edge rusher here in Jared Verse, right? Okay, now you're like, but don't they have pretty dog egg rushers out there? Well, yes, but they're both coming off of, season-ending injuries, right? And they're both, not necessarily injury prone, but they're both, coming off of a bad, season where they got hurt. You know what I'm saying? So you go and get a guy, who literally hasn't played a down in the NFL yet, right? And so hopefully he won't have a injury prone career, knock on wood for you guys, right? And, you guys will be able to have just depth, at that position, especially with Van Ginkel leaving, right? I really feel like that there, okay? So, and, we're moving through, okay? But the next pick here, I have the Philly Eagles selecting Cooper DeJean, okay? Cornerback, makes sense. they are, in need of a corner out there, with their corners getting a little older out there in Bradbury and Slay, right? And there's nothing, not that their play is dropping or anything like that, but it could possibly with them both being in their 30s, right? You want speed out there at corner. You don't want old guys who are, slowing up, getting stuck in the mud. All right, man. So I have, Minnesota continuing to beef up that O-line, right? And with them taking Graham Barton, okay, right? Now, he's the best center in this class to me, which I feel like he could move over to guard if necessary, right? But, center, definitely a interior O-lineman there, right? And I just feel like once again, they're just helping beef up this O-line for whenever they do grab their franchise guy. I have, Dallas here taking my guy Tyler Gotton, right? Okay, pretty much just a replacement for Tyra, leaving, and just helping beef up that O-line there. I mean, too easy there, right? And like I said, it's a stacked tackle draft, right? To me, right? Especially first round. So it might not be the most prettiest picks for fans, but it is an important position on the field, right? Okay, so I have Green Bay taking A. Mims, right? Another tackle, like I was just saying, just a tackle heavy draft and someone to help protect, Jordan Love, their franchise guy, who can propel them, deep in the playoffs again this year. So, man, we're flying through this thing, right? I got Nate Wiggins, okay, going to Tampa right here, okay? Now, a lot of people are like, what? But yes, to me, the best corner left on the draft board here, not a glaring hole or anything like that, but definitely a hole in their defense, and it showed this past season, right? So, you go and you get a guy in the back of the draft here that can, really play amazing for you guys out there, right, at corner. Then I have Arizona selecting Chop Robinson, you know what I'm saying? Matt might not, be crazily with the sack numbers or anything like that, but he is definitely going to cause havoc in that backfield. I mean, he's a havoc causer, no matter what. Whether it is, pressure on the QB or, a TFL or, making the quarterback move so somebody else gets a sack or, making the running back move so someone else gets a TFL, right? So definitely there, he is a havoc causer and he will just be great in this system. They've been earning for a guy like this since the Chandler Jones departure. So, this will be a good pickup for them. So, man, I have the Buffalo Bills selecting a receiver here and Xavier Legette, okay? Now, a lot of people have him falling a few more picks down this board, right? But I like him right here, you know what I'm saying? He had a great year there at South Carolina and, just, in my opinion, balled out, in his own way. And in a receiver needy room, right? In Buffalo, I feel like he can come in and be their number one guy from day one in OTAs, right? And really develop that connection with Josh Allen, early in Austin, right? Which would be big for them, okay? I mean, astronomical, okay? I mean, crazy. Now, with this next pick, okay, I have the Detroit Lions selecting Darius Robinson, okay? Now, he had a breakout, Senior Bowl, performance, right? And he, is a tweener to me, he can be, a DL or he can play that edge, right? But you would probably want him, more so in the interior. But nonetheless there, he had a breakout Senior Bowl, which, so you would like to, see what he can do in this league. And taking him this late in the first round, to me, is a dub here. All right, man, we're flying through this thing, right? So at number 30 here, I got the Baltimore Ravens selecting Kool-Aid, okay? Now, the reason why I have them, getting Kool-Aid here is, for one, I love his name, right? But, seriously, for two, right, I mean, they really don't have, too many outside corners outside of, Humphreys out there, right? They don't have 20 people on the roster that you feel confident playing outside corner and really locking down. So, having him opposite of Humphrey can be a big dub there, right? Okay. Then we're gonna go ahead and slide into 31. All right. So at 31, my San Francisco 49ers. Okay, I have them selecting Roger Rosengarten. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. Rosengarten, something like that. Right? Okay. Now, dog, animal. I mean, I don't know what else you want me to say. I mean, he will be a dog for us. He can, he can potentially take that right tackle starting job. You know what I'm saying, for us. Opposite of Trent Williams. Just because we've had not necessarily lackluster, but not the best play there. Over the past few years, and a big upgrade there. Also, another connection that people can see is that he was coached by McCaffrey, CMC's dad, back in high school. So definitely there is a connection there, which I would love for him to block for Christian. And then, man, to close out this thing, I have at the 32nd pick the Kansas City Chiefs selecting A. Mitchell, the 6'2", speedster guy, in a receiver like need desperate team, right? Just signed Hollywood Brown, but definitely still need another guy here, to close out this first round. Now, if Xavier falls to y'all, I would say get him. You know what I'm saying? Either one of the Xaviers, but I'm talking about the get here, right? I would say definitely grab him if there is a possibility for that, and shoot, even trade up if you are really looking, if you really fell in love with one of these receivers during your drafting process here, but in totality, I just feel like this draft won't have crazy trades in it. Everyone's expecting trade here. Nah, I just think Chicago is gonna trade back, and everyone's gonna want that number 9 pick from Chicago or the later teams. So Chicago's phone will probably be buzzing, but ultimately I have Pittsburgh, taking that from them, and being able to move up all of those spots there. Anyway, man, that will be all for today, man. That's it with it. That is a wrap. You already know. With all that being said, man, we're gonna go ahead and get up out of here. We're not gonna have this intro too long because this video was already long as I don't know what. Right? Okay. So, man, please just leave a like, comment, and subscribe, man. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll be back tomorrow, man. Love.